Hello everyone, my name is Nick. Today we're doing something crazy. We are working on something absolutely insane. Now, some of you who know about Tango Tek and know Tango Tek really well would know that this is the Iron Foundry, right? That's what this is. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I love taking crazy designs and making them much crazier. So with the iron trench, I was working on a way to actually triple its iron output by sort of stacking them on top of each other and then figuring out the village spawn mechanics. Sorry about that noise, but they're spawning pretty quickly, and this is about how fast the Iron Foundry produces. It'll produce a double chest in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours ish. I think it produces around 2,000 gold per hour, or not gold, what am I saying, around 2,000 iron ingots per hour. So sort of in the spirit of what I was working on with the trench, I am working on something special with the Iron Foundry. So the Iron Foundry is so well designed that it will never the villages will never merge. So that means unlimited chaining potential. So as you can see over here, there are 44 villages in this chunk, or in this layer, I guess I'll call it, in this layer. Sorry about the really low frame rate, but having this villager mod on causes a lot of lag. So I'm actually going to turn it off for now. Yeah, much better. Now, as you know, in the Iron Trench, there are the Iron Foundry, sorry, there are 44 villages that each spawn iron golems individually, and they all spawn in there, and they drop into that and then die. And then there's a chunk loader down here. There's a chunk loader down here that filters the roses out from the mob drops and shoots them through another portal, and that keeps the spawn chunks loaded, so they will never unload, so these villages will never merge. So that means there's unlimited chaining potential. Tango Tek left it at 44 villages because it is freaking plenty. But if your thought processes are anything like mine, you'll know that despite it being enough, it's just not enough. So I've slightly modified the design. I've had to move around a few things, change the way that the doors were placed so that all of these doors could get sky access, and that I could place more doors up here and still have enough to provide sky access for every door. And so basically, just with the slight modifications to this building that I made, goodness, they are so loud. I am able to chain 44 villages for this layer, 44 villages for this layer, 44 villages for this layer, and this layer, and this layer, and so on. So, in essence, I believe okay, let's see. With all of the layers, see, they're spawning like crazy. All these layers, I should be able to take the Iron Foundry output and multiply it by 80. If I did the math correct, that should be around, let's see. I can't remember how many it was per second. I think it was like 40 iron ingots per second or something like that. It'll produce a double chest in about 2 minutes. So if you need to get iron, I don't even need a storage system. I could just have the iron golems die somewhere, and I could just walk up to them, and in the time it takes me to get here, an entire inventory full of iron would have dropped and been produced. So yeah, the numbers are insane. So up here, I've actually started chaining it, it's going to take a very, very long time. So far, I've chained about 240 villages, I believe, not counting those down there because I'm going to have to destroy the bottom layer. I only have that working so that it can keep the chunk loader going because I'm lazy and I don't feel like going down and filling up the chunk loader every now and then. So anyway, that's what I do. I'm too lazy to fill up a chunk loader every now and then, so I build an iron foundry to feed it. Because that makes sense. Yeah, it does. Trust me. So I'm going to be making a video probably every week, most likely on Sundays. Sort of, you know, just kind of giving you updates on what's going on with this, let you know how far I am. And so really I just wanted to show you the concept. Basically, what I have to do is I have to start on one side. I had to chain 16 and then push them over here, and then I had to come over here and chain 16 more and then kick all of the villages back over here and then push them all back. So it's just like chaining. Okay, so chaining over here is just normal. It's just like chaining for the foundry. And then chaining the villages, or chaining the rows into the foundry, are like chaining the villages only working with 16 doors at a time. So like basically to explain this, I would really just need to show you. So starting now, I'm going to, let me see, where is it? Oops, I'm not used to this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so these, every different color and every square is a separate village, and as you can see, there are 240 there. So basically, just like regular village chaining, if I place a door here, it'll link, should link up eventually. Yeah, it's starting to get really slow because there's so many villages, but it's fine. But if I place a door here, it will create its own village. So that's, you know, sort of the concept. Let's see, I need to put out 16 blocks right here, and I need to go over here and place 16 blocks again. I always start over here because it skips a step, because I don't really have to do anything with the blocks over here, or with the doors over here. The last thing I have to do is break them. So if I start right here, it creates its own village. Okay. I mean, obviously, if you've seen the Iron Foundry video, then you should understand the concept. And if I place doors just like that, then it will create two villages. But if I place the doors just like this, they'll both link up to the red village. If that one will ever link up. Yeah, see, they both link up to the red village. So if I place this one first, it'll create a new village, and then this one will link up with the red village. Eventually. Yeah, there it goes. So now if I break this, I can place a door right here, and it creates a new village. And this should connect with the purple, and this should connect with the red. Just because of the way that I place them. So basically I have to do this, and I'm going to chain until I get 16. So this is going to be like a really quick time lapse, you'll see. Oops. Yeah. But I'm going to continue this until I have all 16, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, now, as you can see, I have finished chaining the 16 villages. You can't see the golden spawn areas, obviously I just turned them off. But now, in order to push these villages over here and stack them down there, I first have to bring all of those villages over here. And there's a very specific way that I have to place the doors, basically to bring them over here. And I kind of have to be careful because once you start getting this many villages in a world, it can start being a little bit buggy. So in order to keep villages from merging, I have to be sort of slow and very deliberate with the way I place my doors. See, like I placed that one at the wrong time. I don't like having them open, so I go back and close that one. Just because I'm kind of goofy like that, I guess. But so there's 2 layers, and I'm gonna continue this all the way up, and I will yeah, I'm just gonna cut and show you, and I'm gonna do the same thing for this actually, and then I will get back with you in just a second. Okay, so now as you can see, all of the villages are chained and they should be brought over here now, but I need to check, make sure that all, oops, not that, that's what I want. I need to check and make sure that every single golem, spawn area is directly in the center right now. So I need to come over here and make sure that none are left over here, so that I know that every single village was chained properly. The reason I know this is because if any villages merged over there, then there would be several villages with more than one door. At least one village with more than one door, and that would mean that one of these doors wasn't brought over properly. So as long as all of these were brought over, I know there's the same amount of doors over there, so there's really nothing to worry about. So now basically I have to break all of these doors and push everything over there. And then I have to do the same thing over here. At this point, I mean, it's sort of safe. I mean, I always have plenty of time to check if, okay, now, if I messed up that row of villages, it's screwed, it's over now. But as long as these doors are still here, and those doors are still there, if I made any mistakes, I can just kick the villages back and not mess with them, and everything should be fine. But since everything is fine, I can go ahead and destroy these doors and all is dandy. You may notice that there are glass panes, not glass panes, glass blocks right there. You'll see why they're there in just a moment. They don't do anything for me, other than mark those rows specifically. So yeah, I'll explain that in just a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and break all these doors and I will get right back with you. Okay, so all of the doors are broken and all the villages over there. I'm stuttering. So if I place a door right here, it should create a new village. So I know that's on the wrong layer. But if I place it right here, it should connect with the village over. No, create a new one. That's actually the reason why those glass panes are there. Because I mark the layers that are giving me trouble. Because for a while I was thinking it was just random. It was just random that the doors were giving me trouble. But I've discovered that it is every other layer the doors have trouble chaining properly. They will chain properly, but I have to take the time to do it. So every other layer is messed up. And that sucks. But you'll see what I mean in just like right now, actually. See, okay, so this one is connected over there properly like it should. Now I can almost bet that, okay, see those two connected properly. That one is going to connect to the purple one when it should not at all, actually. and it's probably going to connect to it again. No, okay, see how it lined up properly? It's supposed to connect with the village directly across, but for some reason, on every other layer, they try to connect to the one that I placed just before them, which doesn't really make sense because it's supposed to check the oldest village, and obviously these villages are older because they were created before this one. So for some reason, instead of checking for older villages, they're just connecting to they're connecting to a younger village, which doesn't make much sense to me. I haven't been able to figure it out, especially when it comes to figuring out why it only does it on every other layer. It doesn't make sense to me. And you see those connected properly. So that one connected properly. I'm going to place 3 more. Nope, those 2 did not connect properly. Those did. And those are probably going to, yeah, there we go. Now on this layer, I can place them as fast or as slow as I want. Oops, I'm trying to, yeah, there we go. I can place them as fast or as slow as I want, and they're all going to connect perfectly, and I don't have to worry about anything connecting to the wrong one. See? Perfectly. Now this next one, they may or may not. Since it has the glass pane there, I know that this one gives me trouble. Yep, see, it already connected to over there. But that one connected properly. So, and then, yeah, they connect. I think they're going to connect. Yeah, there we go. Are they going to? Nope, see? So it's every other layer that gives me this trouble, and I don't know why. But I've been trying to figure out other patterns to it, and I think it may have to do with timing, potentially. Because I don't know. I have no idea. That shouldn't be happening. According to everything I know, that shouldn't be happening. And this one's all going to connect perfectly. I don't have to worry about it. See? But I'm stumped as to why that happens. But I mean, it's not really such a big deal. It just means it's going to take a long time for me to finish building this, because I have to make sure that every village lines up perfectly properly. And it also means that I can't do this without the villager mod, which really sucks, because that means doing this in vanilla survival is impossible. Even though having this villager mod doesn't change the gameplay at all, some people would think that having a mod period sort of cheapens it, and I can see the merit in that view. But I'm not entirely. I don't think I feel that way, because it doesn't change the gameplay. It just helps you visualize where villages are. So I mean, if you aren't okay with modding your jar for the village mod, then you shouldn't. Then this just isn't going to be an option for you. But I mean, this isn't really an option anyway. I mean, who wants 3,500 villages in their world continuously spawning golems and lagging everything? Not me. When I build this in my survival let's play, I'm probably only going to make it, I'm only going to stack it 2 or 3 high, if that. I might even just leave it on the, oops. I may even just leave it the vanilla foundry, because I don't need this much iron. No one does. Though with the speed that this works, you literally cannot craft iron blocks fast enough. Whoops, I keep doing that. So I mean, it's not worth all the trouble. This is just a proof of concept, and I'm having this much trouble with it. So it's just not doable in survival is what I'm saying. But yeah. So see, this is really frustrating because I don't know what it is. I mean, it's seemingly random. So hold on one second. I'm thirsty. Sorry. Oops. Okay. So the frustrating thing about it is that it's seemingly random. The only pattern that I've been able to find with this is that it happens every other block. And see, it's just, it'll randomly pick one and it'll work. Come on, are you gonna work? Nope. But see, the first one chained, the last three didn't. Those two chained, and the last one didn't. So that doesn't make any sense. It's like, it's hilariously frustrating because of like the randomosity, the randomness of it. I don't, I don't understand it. So I almost wonder if it is even worth keeping these odd layers in it because it's doing that. I almost feel like I should just knock out every other layer. Oops, sorry about that. I almost feel like I should knock out every other layer of it, but then at the same time, I've already put this much work into it, and I feel like it's not really enough to completely sacrifice the design. Because I definitely feel like chaining all of the villages and adding the doors to them one by one, I feel like that's gonna be easily doable. I'll just have to be careful each time I place the initial door. See, since I placed that, and let me get in there. Since I placed that, I can place this, and this, and this, and they'll all connect to the blue one. So I mean, getting doors in here isn't the problem, but getting doors over here will be the problem. But I mean, that's not even a difficult problem to figure out. Dang, why did I do that? Oh well, doesn't matter. Just place it and get it right back. Eventually. There you go. Nope. Already messed up. So, anyway, I am going to finish chaining, or finish bringing all these villages over in yet another time lapse. And yeah, so I will get back with you in just a moment. Well then, that one worked out well. That was weird. It was the first one that was on the odd one that worked out well. So anyway, basically that's it. See, now I have added 16 to this thing. And then basically every time I add 16 villages, that's what happens. So yeah, that was about 30 minutes. It took me about 30 minutes to add 16 to it. And since everything's good over here, I can just go ahead and break everything and it's all good. So yeah, about 30 minutes worth of work, added 16 villages to it. Every time I add 16 more. Sorry, excuse me, I gotta. Whew. Anyway. Every time I add 16 villages to it, it'll take just a little bit longer to it will take just a little bit longer to chain. But I mean, it should be worth it in the end. I mean, I'll have an iron foundry that has 3,500 villages, each independently spawning iron golems. So Anyway, yeah, I guess that's gonna be the end of this video. It's probably gonna be kind of short every week, but I'm really just gonna run you through, kind of let you know what's going on, let you know if I find any more mechanics or anything that I notice with it. You know, I'll just post update videos every week, I think, is how it's gonna work. So anyway, that is going to be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next episode of Cannons, or not Cannons, of Nick builds the most efficient iron farm ever. So yeah, that's basically, yeah, I think that'll be the name of this series. Nick builds the most efficient iron farm ever. Yeah. Anyway, goodbye.